Good morning. Wow. First of all, I want to thank Roger Weaver for having a banner made up for the ministry and for having that banner displayed at the Columbus Pride Parade on Saturday. So even though I couldn't physically be present, the ministry was still represented. And I show a picture of that real quick. Now, I don't know. I know that's Don Voss. I want to thank Don. And I think that's Randy. I'm not sure. But Roger Weaver had this banner made up, Seeking Freedom. It is available at the website, and then Luke 9:23. And so I just wanted to say thank you to Roger Weaver for doing that. And thanks to Don, and if that's Randy, if not, brothers, thank you for holding that banner up. So I apologize I didn't get any videos or updates up this weekend. I did go out Friday night when I got to Atlantic City, and I was able to speak to a few individuals just before I was maced. I spent a few hours in the ER recovering from that, and then on Saturday I also spent the entire day trying to recover. So I do want to thank the tourists that were there, because they came immediately to my rescue. Or one woman started pouring her bottle of water all over my face and my eyes and telling me how to breathe, what to do. But I tell you what, the witness, I didn't want to talk about this over the weekend because I didn't want my mom to worry, actually. And my mom was very worried when she found out that I was going out, that I was in there alone, that my whole entire team canceled on me. And so I still went, and I still went out. Maybe I should have, maybe I shouldn't have, but I did it. Can't change that now. But the witness to the people that came to my rescue was pretty amazing, because once I caught my breath and I could kind of speak, I started praying for the two kids that maced me. I was talking to a drag queen, and they kept walking by, and they were listening to what I was saying, and they were obviously convicted because if you ever get maced, I found out that almond milk works better than regular milk. But these kids were obviously convicted because they were listening to what I was saying, and I wasn't preaching. I was just being a witness. And they were making comments, rude comments, and I just ignored them. So when I was able to speak, I started praying for them. And when the police officer came, says, well, I'll take you over to the ER and we'll file a report. Or actually, he told me he would meet me at the ER and file a report. I told him I didn't want to file a report. I'm gonna blame them for acting lost and standing up for what they believe in. No, I'm not gonna blame them for being sincere in their beliefs. They're deceived. They're misled. And they were so young, they were so, You could just tell they were so passionate about their thoughts and feelings. I didn't want any part of filing a report. I'm not going to blame people for acting lost when they're lost, when they're yelling and hollering and screaming and throwing things or macing you. Not going to do it. I think about the apostles. I think about, gosh, they were stoned and scourged. So being maced, probably nothing to them. Not comparing myself, but just saying. I was also able to be a pretty powerful witness in the ER. See, one nurse, she wasn't pleased with my Christ-likeness. She mentioned in so many words that kind of like, what would you expect when you go out to preaching to people and telling them they're not who they are, or telling them they're going to hell for being who they are? And I had to explain to her, I said, look, I don't preach. I wasn't out there preaching. I was testifying. I was being a witness. Because Jesus called me to be a witness. That's all he called me to do, is to be a witness. He called me to be a witness, not a lawyer. I don't have to plead his case. He didn't call me to do that. He just called me to be a witness and use the power of my testimony. That was it. So I had to make her understand that I wasn't out there preaching. And I also had to explain to her that I wasn't even talking to the two kids that maced me. But I also told her that I definitely understand them because they're broken, they're lost, they're hurting. My heart has been breaking all weekend for them too, because they were so young. I spent the entire day, Saturday, trying to recover and drinking lots of milk, pouring milk all over my face. The redness and the stinging went away. But I spent most of that day in prayer for those two kids. Excuse me. I did go back out Saturday night. Regardless, the drag queen that I was talking to the night before told me I was crazy for coming back out there. Actually, the first thing he asked me was if I came out to get them. And I told him no. It wasn't about my comfort or my pleasure or my praise. I was there to reach into the flames and to yank them out. Those very ones that Jesus loves, and they don't even know it. We are not here for our own comfort. It's not about what we think. It's not about what we feel. Please pray for Andre. Andre is not transgender. He's just a drag queen. I met him Friday night, and I talked to him on Saturday too. He gets in drag for prostitution. So please pray for him. He was very Oh Lord. I'm sorry, guys. My heart has just been breaking for them kids. And the blessing, there was a blessing. I was able to see I was able to see the same transgender prostitute that I met when Tom Dunn and I were in Atlantic City filming the documentary. And when he saw me, he hugged me. And he told me he read my book. He allowed me to pray again with him and for him. I was able to give him a copy of the documentary. And he thought that was pretty amazing because he's in it. What a powerful testimony that will be the day that he's sitting next to me as the man that God created him to be. Mm. Come on. His identity is found in Jesus. And I just wanted him to understand that. And he still wouldn't give me he still wouldn't give me his real name. But he did get it that God doesn't recognize him the way he was living or by the name he was using. He understood that. Oh man. Sorry. I know. I never people told me all weekend. I shouldn't have went out there. But I tell you this, it was all worth it. It was all worth it. I don't even I don't have much to even talk about this one. But I didn't want to worry my mom. So I didn't want to talk about this over the weekend while I was there. Maybe I should have canceled, but maybe not. Who knows? I'm heading home, and I just want us to get it, man. I want us to understand. Jesus loves them right where they are, only because He can love them out. He can love them into a whole new life. He can love them right into their very identity that they were created to bear. Mm. The image that's been twisted and tainted, and only, the only thing that will pull them out of that darkness is the love of God in and through each of us. Look, we got to stop pointing out the fact that, oh, look at these loving homosexuals, how abusive they are. Oh, well, David, they just maced you. How loving is that? Look, they're standing up for something. They're dedicated, and they truly believe what they're standing up for. We look at, if we look at Paul, when Paul, before Paul became Paul, he was Saul. And he was sincere in his beliefs. He was sincere when he was persecuting the church. He was sincere when he was murdering Christians. He was sincere, and he was standing up for what he believed and felt and thought. And that's what they're doing. Too many people get angry when they see them standing up for what they believe in. Too many people get pretty unchristlike. When they see these young men and women embrace each other and kiss and hug and flaunt their sin because we recognize it as sin and they don't. We have to stop blaming them for acting laws, standing up for what they believe in. I'm actually drained right now. I don't even know what to say right now. There's 50,000 things in my head and nothing wants to come out. So maybe I'm not supposed to say anything. Maybe I'm supposed to just beg on the Lord to touch them, to touch those young people, to show them the way, to show them the light. Maybe I'm just supposed to say, Lord, have your way, use me. Look, I don't care if I'm maced. I don't care if what happens to me. What I care about the most is being a good representation of Jesus Christ. And if I can't do that, I don't want to do nothing. Don't tear up if you're trying to get over your eyes burning from me. It's not fun. Oh. Listen, we need to learn how to be good representations of Jesus. We need to learn to be doing what Jesus commissioned us to do. Evangelize and disciple. We can expose the darkness. But before we can expose the darkness, and before we can go out there preaching to people who don't want to be preached to, because they don't love your Jesus, they don't even like your Jesus, because they don't know him. Before we can go out there and preaching and all of this other stuff, we have to establish relationships with these people. I established some relationships this weekend. Strengthened one relationship, established two new ones. And who knows, maybe the next time I go to Atlantic City, those two kids will still be around. Maybe they'll hear me the next time. Who knows? Maybe they'll mace me again. Who cares? They heard enough to convict them. They heard enough to make them want to shut me up. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, and I didn't go out there preaching. I didn't go out there reading scriptures. I didn't go out there telling them that they're living in sin and they're going to hell. I didn't do any of that. I went out there doing what Jesus told me to do, and that was to be a witness. He don't need a lawyer. Sorry, Roger. He don't need a lawyer. He don't need anyone to plead his case. His case is settled. His case, his foundation is solid. All he called us to do is be a witness. My heart breaks when I think of all of the people that could be reached by all the people who are so willing to go out there. So many of them are just turned off to Jesus and to any open door. Because of Christians. My heart breaks for them. Some of them will never know the love of Jesus. Because when their paths were crossed with Christians, those Christians were not good representations of Jesus. And my heart breaks for that. And for those people I'm not angry at the kids that maced me. I don't wish them any ill will. My heart has been breaking for them all weekend. A lot of change. A lot of people need to make a lot of changes. It start with you. You could be the beginning of change. Look, I'm out of here. I love you guys. Lord willing, I'll see you in the morning. And Lord willing, I'll be home this afternoon. Peace.